How exactly is Industry 4.0 changing and expected to continue to change manufacturing? Can you get out your crystal ball? Where is manufacturing heading because of Industry 4.0, or at least the idea?
Yeah, in this computerized like aura that sits around companies and their operations, it can't help but take factories to the next level, right? Again, focus on the data. What is it you're trying to get out of it? What are you trying to improve? Hey, that's a big, big, big deal. Startups today have to be thinking that, right? Company expansions, acquisitions, okay, all of that bring along their learned Industry 4.0 knowledge and initiatives and products. And Factivity sometimes goes for the ride there for those that have it. And as that continues to grow, I mean, companies and the products that drive their business will also expand and grow too. It has to, right? So as you continue to bring in more and more ways of manufacturing, machines that are involved in manufacturing, and just about everything you can bring in, you have to grow. So I think Industry 4.0 is, again, it's not a checklist. I almost think of it as a concept to move more and more to thinking a little bit outside the box. So not just what I produce today, but how can I do that better tomorrow and the day after?
Interesting. And so I think on that note, Oscar, I would actually like to share, maybe just dig a little bit deeper in that thought and just share a comment, or I guess a statement that's on the Factivity website that caught my attention. And that says, quote, manufacturing companies today realize that factory floor data collection is simply not enough to stay competitive. Beyond accounting for labor time is a growing need for the real-time visibility and real-time solutions. Easy to use information tools can help management optimize schedules, eliminate bottlenecks, minimize scrap, shrink downtime, and maximize machine OEE and labor assets, much of which we discussed already. This new set of functionality is offered in the Factivity MES modules, a set of software tools to improve your production process, lower costs, and improve on-time delivery. Using a customizable factory floor user interface, our solutions consist of 3 major software systems, each sold separately with add-on modules for Factivity MES. So can you elaborate for us the Factivity tool set and how exactly it helps improve an organizational real-time visibility? And this is all obviously in vein of this whole idea of Industry 4.0, and I think kind of relates back to the previous question. But can you maybe just shed a little more light for our listeners on this idea of bringing these pieces together and how that helps improve real-time visibility exactly?
Sure. So Factivity from its inception has always been about ease of use. It's always been focused on the operator and then expanded on. So when we first started using touchscreens weren't even a thing yet. And we had our first touchscreen was by a company who's one of the leaders now, Elo Touch Systems, and theirs was a big CRT with this big 4 or 5 inch thing that sat in front of the screen. And we were using that to illustrate how you can use touchscreen systems on the floor. But throughout its journey, we've added several modules and integrations to take you beyond this thing that I talked about, which is data collection, which is the MES 101 that some people just don't get past. Machine monitoring. How do I enhance what the user experience is by getting information directly from the equipment they're working with? Right? We talked about Machine Monitor and OPC servers. We've also added a new product called Factivity Connect, and this opens the door to other third-party products to interact with an MES, okay, connected to the enterprise system. So if you're an engineer or an integrator, you can focus on the machine and its data and not concern yourself with the MES or having to rewrite an entire MES system or worry about how to integrate with the enterprise. Factivity Connect lets you get all that information out. In a lot of cases, some of these systems that are built around the machine are called SCADA systems, and there are some really good products here. One comes to mind, Ignition from Inductive Automation is very popular, very powerful product, which some of our customers use to interact with their machines, to focus on the machine, and then use Factivity Connect to talk to the MES who's talking to the enterprise system and work back and forth. When we looked at the user, okay, and we needed to give the user a more up-to-date experience, we created Factivity Ultra. So it's a UI designer that contains a large palette of a whole bunch of visual elements, from flashing buttons, gauges, charts, that you can actually put on a screen for a particular area of your factory. You can also use it to create some non-interactive dashboards. So it's got a lot of things that you see in today's what are under this category of dashboards. Another part that's very important in the entire MES picture is scheduling and advanced planning and scheduling. There's sometimes some thought the difference between sequencing and scheduling. So, sequencing, I've got a lineup. I might be in my office every morning, and we're figuring out the lineup, the sequence that we want to run today. Advanced planning and scheduling is taking all of that, which you do, try to automate it on steroids. So it takes a look at all that data and basically comes up with a schedule that fits the entire floor and looks all at your downstream operations, your upstream operations, from the machine availabilities to your people availabilities to all your resources. Factivity APS is a solution that we have that combines a very powerful world-class APS system from Planet together and a lot of years of Factivity integration and knowledge for some select ERP systems. So then we work together with this, we flow the data back and forth, and we dispatch that through the MES. So the MES becomes the focus on the floor, and all of these other systems are working to make that experience seamless and certainly advantageous.
So I think, Oscar, really great response. I really appreciate that. And, when you talk about this idea of real-time visibility, what I just heard you say in your answer, there's multivariables there. There's many pieces to that. And one is, as we discussed earlier in this conversation, behind the scenes, it requires, as you just said, seamless integration, the right tools behind the scenes and properly integrating OEE information to your MES and having effective user interfaces that are easy, right? It's easy for the operator and you make it simple as possible. And the idea of interactive dashboards to make it easy for the operator. And of course, advanced planning and scheduling tool, such as Factivity APS and Factivity Connect as well. So I think there's a lot of pieces that need to be considered in order to reach this idea, we'll call it, of Industry 4.0, and leveraging the best you can the technologies and the interfaces and the seamless integration that at the end of the day, it provides not only the right data, and as you said, that you have to plan for and really understand the data that the organization is looking for. That's really where it starts. But then you put the technical pieces together behind the scenes to make it happen, but then you make it easy for everybody to use, and especially for the folks, running the equipment perhaps on the floor, right? So that they can focus on their job. And if you can do that and do it well, then I think it's probably fair to say that you're going to meet your end game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of moving pieces in a well-oiled machine. So in order to make all of the pieces work from your enterprise all the way down to the machine, having the right technologies is a big deal.